Going into the Season 6 battles, I think that we still have a lot to learn about the team. So the battle rounds are almost the time where I get to really dig in to see what's happening, because the blind auditions are so crazy and quick and frantic. So this is basically a moment to take stock in what's happening and make some quick decisions, but also kind of start to narrow it down based on kind of a instantaneous reaction. It's almost kind of like the blinds in a way, because you prepare them a little bit for it, but at the end of the day, you're seeing them like only for the second time. So it's just kind of whittling away at something, but it's hard in the beginning because you don't know everybody very well. So it's a challenging part of the process for me. Every team, every season is very different. I can't remember any team being like any other. Sometimes you have people where you start off with everybody being so strong, and then all of a sudden somebody has a bad day, or multiple people have a bad day, or people who you were banking on from the beginning. People surprise you that weren't as strong in the beginning that wind up really kind of coming into their own and being great. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just kind of happens right before your eyes. So I like the fact that it's actually happening in real time. There's no, you know, smoke and mirrors. But it makes it that much more challenging for me to do it the right way. So I started last year not having a strategy, because I don't think you really can have a strategy when it comes to this and music and something that's very kind of visceral and in the moment. I think that you have to be, from my perspective, I have to kind of prepare them to be their best, but then I have to kind of be unprepared for what I'm going to hear, because I don't really know. And I think that you try to give them what they need, and then at that crucial point where you have to decide, it's like, okay, here we go. You have to forget about all the advice and not go based on whether somebody improved or didn't, and go based on who's going to actually win the battle round. And that's hard to do. I've actually learned a lot from other coaches, just the experience of seeing how they work, taking, I think, the best attributes that they all have as coaches of the other 5 people, because, you know, there's been 6 of us so far. So I've been very impressed by everybody at one point or another, and the things that they do and the methods that they apply, and trying to kind of take from them a little bit. Except Blake. I couldn't learn anything from Blake. When we came to do the show for the first time, Mark Burnett sat in a room and talked about the show, and our first concern was, how do we be the antithesis of what a lot of these shows are, which is extremely judgmental and people laughing at people, you know, whether they're bad or not. It's just, I don't know how constructive it is to lord above somebody and think that you have any right to judge them or to make them feel badly about what they're doing, even if they're the worst thing in the world, even if they're doing it just to get a rise. I just don't subscribe to the idea that we're supposed to sit here and make people feel badly about themselves in an already high-pressure situation. So that was a big thing. I believe that because it is a very positive-leaning show, that the spirit of it is very much there, but it was also a very conscious decision. It is letting us be who we want to be, and I do believe that we all got together and said to ourselves, let's be nice to these guys. You know, let's not. We could have been very different. There could have been a lot harsher, kind of cruel judgment passed down upon these people, but I don't believe that ever gets anyone everywhere. And I think The Voice has made a lot of people's dreams come true, and the success factor really is all relative. You know, I don't think that anybody has ever gone on The Voice in front of millions of people and not benefited from it in some way. And that's a really big thing, because people say, oh, you have to be as big as so-and-so to be considered successful. That's not true. You know, millions of people are exposed to these singers every day, and someone can go home, but they go home with millions of people knowing who they are. You know, and that is a huge victory in a climate where it's impossible to get noticed because there's so much competition. So I love that about the show. I think it's a win for everybody. Aloe Blacc is amazing, and not only does he have like a great energy, and he's really good at this naturally, but he's an amazing songwriter, an amazing singer, you know, and he's a great kind of, what's cool is that he's not just bringing in, oh, this person's a legend, or this person has done so many things. It's more, this guy's making it right now, you know, and that's really cool, because these people get to see, you know, the people on my team get to see this guy who's just making it big for the first time, like I said, in real time on television. But in music, he's thriving and he's succeeding for the first time, which is really exciting, especially if you're an aspiring young singer.